My name is Geir Ellingsen. My job here is the function as a team leader of this IHP team. The burden sharing is a key issue in the IHP, and I think that the IHP system is really a success when it comes to the flexibility to share the burdens and also to have a quick reaction to the request.
Hi, my name is Joey Renert. I'm the camp manager here at Camp ESSU in Guiuan, Philippines. I work for WFP, World Food Program. World Food Program, for the most part, is the one who deploys the camp. They're the ones who request the camp and need it, and usually used for United Nations as well as humanitarian workers. So here in this camp we have both United Nations staff and NGOs and other visitors that come in. So let me take you a look as if we're a guest here. We have, there are 8 tents total. Each tent has 8 bed spaces, so a total population of 64 people. They have individual cabins, which we'll see in a moment. But when a guest first arrives, they make reservations here online. We confirm that we have space, and then we head straight to the registration where we'll check in. So let me take you to the registration tent. So this is the reception tent. This is where guests will check in, and most of the first point of contact with the guests who are coming in and decide where they stay. We always have usually hire local staff to run the check-ins, check-outs, reservations, take payments, and that sort of thing. This is all done here. This is also the point where issues are resolved, so anytime the guest has any issues, they will come here, and then from here we'll determine how it needs to be resolved, whether we need to talk to members of the IHP team who are here doing the facilities, or whether we can resolve the problem on our own. This is an example of one of the guest tents. So you can see that there are 8 individual cabins. We label them here with numbers, and so that anyone who comes in knows how to get to the cabin that they want. And then inside a cabin here, this is a typical cabin for most of the IHP camps. You have a bed, a mattress, pillow. Usually we have sheets as well. There's a lamp, power cord, and then the fan we had to order separately this time. Those are not usually included, but it will depend on the climate whether or not they are needed. The cabins are all closable and lockable. There's a zipper and a lock here at the bottom for privacy and security. Okay. We also have a medical tent, so if there are any kind of medical, even from small to large emergencies, we have the capability to fix people's injuries or people get sick. These are also part of the camp. There's usually always a nurse and sometimes even a doctor that are deployed with the IHP teams that can help treat folks. This is our I guess in the Philippines they call them comfort room, but this would be our bathroom facility. So we have sinks. We have showers, so we have 4 showers. All individual cabins inside. You can separate your dry from your wet here. So you put your towel on behind here, your clothes here, and then you just turn on and use the shower here. The toilets are over here. This is, again, same kind of cabin setup. You decide if you're in or you're not. And it's a normal toilet. We try to keep these as clean as possible and supplied so that people, people think of a camp, they think it's very dirty and they're really expecting the worst. So if you have really clean toilets and showers, you'll have accomplished a whole lot in terms of people's perception. This is a custom-built job from IHP. This is not normally part of the kit, but they have determined that having a urinal will help relieve the stress. It's a good idea, and note the creativity, the rear view mirror. You need to see who's behind you too in these things. So, but that was a creativity from the IHP team. This here is a washer and dryer as well as a water heater. So the water heater is generally used for the washer and dryer, but it's been now piped creatively to the shower, so at least it takes the edge off the cold water. Hot water is an absolute requirement, at least for me. It really makes the shower much more comfortable, even in these tropical climates. If you're taking a shower at 9 or 10 o'clock at night when it gets dark, it can get a little cool, even room temperature water. So hot water is a very nice thing. The laundry machines are generally only used for camp only, so within the camp staff only. So laundering sheets, towels, kitchen items, that takes pretty much all day. So one of the problems of some of these camps are that the actual guests don't have any sort of laundry to use. They're not able to use the machines because we don't have the time. So we always have to source some kind of laundry solution, whether it's local staff working the laundry or purchasing laundry machines. So this is something that we try to add on the guest side of the camp. This is the water purification system here. This is also brought by IHP. This purifies water. This is, I can't remember how much the capacity is anymore, but it supplies water to the whole camp. Showers and all showers and all faucets are potable water. So you can drink from any of that. That is a standard requirement. Not standard for toilets, however, so you can use whatever water is coming in for the toilets. But it's very, very important to have clean water. It's an absolute necessity. We had bottled water here for weeks and weeks, and then just to be able to go to the faucet and have clean water come out and put it into a bottle saves the environment, but also makes it very, very convenient for everyone. Yes, one of the hearts of the camp is the generator, the electrical system. This is used for everything from lights to the kitchen, providing power to the satellite dishes for internet access. So it is a very critical component. In this particular camp, one of the challenges we had is that this camp is spread over a large geographic area, so we had to lay cables across a very large span of area. So we were running out of cables. We had to actually go locally and purchase more cables to supply power. And we also ended up supplying power to the WFP office and the UN office, again, which is not necessarily going to be part of every camp. So there were some additional requirements that were added that would never have been anticipated. So in this kind of case, you have to adapt and try to determine what the best solution is, go local, or we had to order cables all the way from Cebu and get them flown in order to complete the connections here in the camp. The generators are also run by diesel fuel. So one of the most important things, at least from the very beginning, is to make sure you press the camp manager. It's very appropriate to do so to make sure you have a diesel supply, because without a regular diesel supply, you don't get power for the camp and everything else falls over. So one of my priorities when I arrive is to establish the diesel supply chain. You never know how it's going to be. When we arrived here, there were no fuel stations. And the fuel that was here was about 10 times what normal price were. So we had to figure out a solution. And what we ended up doing was we ended up bringing 60 barrels of diesel here. And then as we use 30 of them, we send the empty ones back, and then they refill the 30 and bring them back. So we have a constant supply. We have at least a 1 week worth of backup. So we're not in any rush to make sure we have diesel or we're going to run out of power in 2 days. So this is a very important thing to make sure you focus on. We're heading over here. This is to the kitchen. At the beginning of this camp, now this camp has a capacity of 64. But we also have visitors that come in, so they were serving at one point up to 100 meals per meal. So we serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. At the beginning of the camp, it was included in the cost. At some later point, we separated the charges so that people were paying for their meals. That's very typical of the United Nations. They want to make sure they can recover as much of the costs as they can. So World Food Program, I purchase the food. The kitchen, though, is staffed by locals. They'll determine what the menu should be and what the orders are. I try to keep an eye on the costs and try to recover those costs as much as possible. But this restaurant here, I mean, when the disaster first hit, there was nothing to eat outside. We were all eating MREs and other prepackaged food you add water to. This is the best restaurant in all of Guiuan. People come from all over to want to eat here. So we sell just as many meal vouchers as any normal restaurant. So we could double the population of people who eat here over our camp. This is just to give you some background. This is my third camp running for WFP with an IHP team. One of the things that I do when I first arrive is I look for the resources that were destroyed and where are those people working. So hotels, restaurants. If those are destroyed, those people no longer have a job. So I try to find those people as soon as possible. In this particular case, this is a university campus. They have a school of hospitality and management and hotel management here. So I went to the university administrator and said, do you know any of your graduates who are looking for work? And he showed up with 25 people for me to interview within about 2 days. So here was a fantastic place to actually have a camp. It was very easy and quick to get a staff. For those of you who are going to end up working in the kitchen in previous camps, please pay attention to making sure you have that staff as soon as possible. IHP usually sends 1, maybe 2 chefs, depending upon the size of the camp, but they don't provide you extra staff. So if you don't find local staff in a hurry, all the rest of the team are going to have to do shifts in the kitchen and help out with cleaning and cooking and whatever it is that you need to do. That will start to use up a lot of your energy. The kitchen is open from 5 in the morning until 11 or 12 at night to serve 3 meals a day. So really try to find the local staff as an urgent priority, because that will relieve a lot of the stress and the time that you need to focus on the kitchen and you focus on other things.
I'm really impressed how the system is working, so it's really good. One really valuable benefit of joining an IHP mission is that not only the satisfaction of carrying out the mission, but also to establish a network between the IHP countries to learn from the other organizations, other countries. That's a really added value to it. We want to conclude the mission in the same way and with the same quality that it was started and has been now running for these months. So of course it's a special task to close down something that people see as a success and also see as their local job and existence for some of the local staff. So an IHP mission is highly recommendable.